Story and all, things and all with life and the dog.
Okay, here we go. We're going live.
Okay.
Now. Well, there's 10 people on already.
Hello.
Did you just Dubland at the...
No, I'm going to send it to you and you can do it on Dubland. Are you still attached to the Dubland?
I don't know.
I just sent it to you there.
I'll just do it.
I don't know when we're live.
Are we live?
Are we live now?
Are we live now?
Oh, look at the two of us are looking
I'm
at
not
our
ready.
phones.
I was watching football on the phone.
He's still watching football.
I'm
I'm trying
to put up the link and all. Look, you fucking. Now I'm watching myself.
This is very unprofessional.
Look, there we are. I was meant to try and copy it.
Right, okay, that won't work.
It didn't work.
Now you're watching me, watching us, watching you. Good evening. Welcome to Dubland Live.
It's like watching that fucked up movie with your man Matt Damon. You know the one.
Matt Damon.
What was the one where he goes into it? He carries around a little pyramid and in something in Sydney? No, doesn't matter.
You've lost me. I don't really know very many Matt Damon. Anyway, okay. Tell you what we'll do. We'll do the admin. We're live.
How's it going? Sorry about the delay on sort of getting our shit together on this one. We're just back from London and absolutely I'm still kind of wrecked after, to be honest. It's the first time I've ever done anything on stage in my life kind of half cut under the weather. If you know, I've never drank and got on stage for my life, not ever, not one time.
Well, I've learnt my lesson. So thank you to everybody who went to the Boogaloo on Saturday night. On Saturday day. It was absolutely amazing. But here was the deal. So we got there at like 3:30ish. You got there before me. And then we were in this essentially a showroom kind of out the back garden, weren't we? Like in a shed.
Yeah, it was pretty much, it was a shed.
In a shed. And then they came out and they were like, do you need anything to drink? Do you want anything to drink? Can get you anything to drink? I was like, I'll have a glass of rosé. And you were like, no. Ever a professional said, no, I'm not going to have a drink. But I did. I had a glass of rosé and then I had half a glass then because I kind of was like, I'm going to take a handy because we're going to go and do this.
Yeah.
And then we went out. Firstly, we were half an hour late, which apologies for. Secondly, then we got out and then...
But we weren't half an hour late for our own fault. There was a wire missing off the thing. And then and there was no rush. No. I thought London would be a place where there'd be a bit of a move on. It was a very Irish attitude to everything being fucked up. It was like, Shash, it'd be grand.
I thought people would be...
It'd be all right. Everybody's happy, aren't they?
I did think people would be more angry with us. They weren't. They weren't angry with us at all.
So I said one Scottish lad. I went for a piss and one Scottish lad goes, "Oh yeah, I bet the fucking stop though. What is happening?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, there's a wire missing." He goes, "What a load of shit that is." But then as soon as it was over, I met him in the toilet again. I think he just spent most of his time in the toilet, that lad.
I didn't meet him when I was there.
Hey, that was fucking funny, eh? That'll do. So it's probably a really messy podcast actually to listen to. If you're not enjoying it, just skip it because it might be, and I hate saying this, it might be the only podcast we've ever done which you might have to have been there.
Could have been. But see, and the thing is, we
been in the room.
We hop a lot between one thing and another.
And there's a lot of audience participation with no microphones.
There's a lot of editing in it, but we'll edit it. We'll put it out.
Yeah. It might go down to about 5 minutes.
Yeah.
But it'll be grand.
Oh yeah.
After an hour and a half, which is the longest one we've ever done in our lives as well.
And we got so bear in mind then we were sitting there, and if you weren't there on Saturday night, that's fine. But if you were there on Saturday, thank you. But so people kept sending us drinks from the bar, and then the bar kept sending us drinks. And there's a picture, and I don't know whose picture it is, but at one point I look and I have 3 drinks in front of me, and I have 3 drinks on the table beside me. Now, to be honest, 4 glasses of wine for me is it's Limitsville. It's Limitsville. I'm vague on leaving the Boogaloo, and I still had to get to go to Gab's party, and I did. Somebody gave me a shot before I left, and which I've never had to do. We got 30 minutes in, and I was like, we've another 30 minutes at least to go. And you were talking, and I went, I have to go and wait. It was so unprofessional, but I was like, I actually have to leave and wait because
she left in the middle of the podcast to go for a piss.
Alan from Head Stuff is looking after us here. Hello, Al.
Yeah, he's never been in the room. He doesn't normally like us, so he's kind of forced here today because of the technicalities of the YouTube television.
Yeah, so we how unprofessional are we? Al, genuinely.
It was disgraceful. But it did give me a chance to talk about you riding your cousins, which I thought was kind of, a good opportunity to slip that in. Well, no, that was actually a bad turn of phrase, but it would do it. We're not even riding cousins, kissing cousins, which is much more acceptable.
We talked about family riding.
Yeah. Well, yeah. But anyway,
Didn't we? We could elaborate on that a little bit because I don't know if that will make the.
It's just I asked the audience a question I shouldn't have asked. Again, you shouldn't have points when you're doing a podcast.
See,
I asked them if you were going out with someone and you had a dog and all, and you were going, you have a relation, you're going out, you're not married or anything, but you have no kids, but I say you have a dog. You're going out, maybe you've just moved in. You've done a couple of holidays.
Right.
Turns out it's your cousin. Would you stop? I asked the question.
Well, if your kids are going
I said I mightn't. Do you know what I mean? I'm not having kids. I have no kids anyway. I mightn't anyway, but that's a totally
but you can't marry them, but that's fair enough as well.
Yeah, but you're again, you know what I mean? I'm not good at that either.
Next door, but one where you go for hatches, matches, and dispatches. When you go in to do your actual interview to get your marriage certificate, you know, in the registry.
Yeah, I can't get mine in there.
Why?
I can't get anything in there. It is, yeah. I went in there because I'm adopted. They don't have my birth cert. I'm not allowed to get it in there. I have to go. Mine is off in the bog in Roscommon.
No, not your birth cert, but when you get married, you have to bring your birth cert and both you bring your birth certs in, but they interview you to make sure that you're legit. So there was to make sure that you're not related. You're not like brother and sister.
Oh, really? That's the thing.
Or that you're not cousins.
Oh, I thought it was just a kind of a trust system. Like, you know, when you're in a bar and you help yourself to a drink and you tick off what you have.
Married?
Well, I did it in Vegas, so you could marry your own Mickey over there. You know, it's a totally different thing. It's not exactly the same.
I thought you got like you did the bits here, like.
No.
So you're not actually.
I am. It's legal. It's illegal.
In Vegas.
It's legal. US, it's law. Like, it's legal.
And you're living and residing there, right?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if the Americans move over here and they're married. They're still married.
Are they? That was the question.
Well, yeah, I don't know.
Anyway, so we somehow talked about riding cousins, and then it escalated, and we were like, at one point, I just looked at my phone and went, "It's been an hour and a half." Yes, Alan, an hour and a half. We were still sitting there, and I had drank quite a lot of wine at that point. PJ had drank a lot of pints of Guinness. And I was like, we just have to wrap this up. Like, we really have to say goodbye. We answered a couple of questions, and we stood for about another hour saying hello and taking pictures. And then there was the man made his own T-shirt. Can't think of his name, but he made his own Have Notions T-shirt. It was like,
and he wasn't even the looniest one. There was your man who camped outside.
Oh yeah,
Paul. Fair play to Paul Gannon. I think that's his name. He fucking camped.
Paul, are you a bit of a serious? He sent a whole
album.
He's not.
You see them? He sent all the photos of him hanging around in Legoland and everything. He's hanging around with these fucking Lego, and he's like getting his picture taken with all these buskers and. So there's a fucking man that I love fellas like him.
Your kind of guy,
he obviously had the shilling in his pocket. So it wasn't Legoland, it was Hamleys. He just went to the Lego exhibition in Hamleys.
Okay.
So he went to London with a fucking tent. And he's rocking around Covent Garden. He obviously had just enough money to get a burger and chips. Because that's all he had.
And
that's his eating.
Stuck him.
And his tenner fee.
Yeah.
And he sat in the front. He camped somewhere in fucking. Where do you camp in London? In a field, someone's back in the garden or something.
Regent's Park.
Unbelievable. And he pulled the whole thing off, and then he heads back and not a bother on him. And then the other woman who came from Alabama.
No.
Fucking Alabama.
That's actually, by the way, Alan, that's a true story. A woman came from Alabama. She was coming to London anyway. But she decided that she was going to go.
Oh, was she coming anyway?
But no,
Lion bitch.
Sorry, well,
she fucking told me she came over just for the podcast. And I believe her.
She did though, but she was planning to go on a trip to London, and then she heard the podcast was that weekend. She went, "I'm definitely going to go to London now, and that's the weekend I'm going to go."
I apologise for calling someone that was kind enough to come over now a lion bitch. That's a terrible thing.
You agreed to get a tattoo.
I did, yeah. Again, don't do podcast drunk because that has to happen now.
So you and that lovely girl down the end.
Yeah, the kidnap pigeon, we're getting that done.
Yeah, you're getting that done. You guys are getting your Dubland tattoos. She looked at me and I was like, it's never happening.
It is happening.
No.
Oh, you.
Yeah, no, she stupidly thought I would be involved in that. I'm like, have you seen me? I wouldn't even Sharpie myself.
No,
like, I'm too precious.
No, you'd be having Prosecco's with Leo Varadkar or something.
Me and Leo are falling out at the moment. It's a real love-hate with me and Leo at the moment. I don't know whether we're coming or we're going. But yeah, so.
And then the man gave me the West Ham tickets, which is fair play to him.
I was going to ask you about Martin Kelly.
Yeah, what a deadly bloke. He gave me 2 and fucking fancy tickets, right? So it's brilliant. And West, that I have to just tell you, right? That game, right? I was looking forward to it. Manchester City, who are maybe the best football team of our generation, right? So they're fucking unbelievable. So it was never going to end well for West Ham. But it was brilliant. I've never been to that stadium before. That's their new stadium, London Stadium. So they're in the East End. I'm talking about a mix of fans. There's the real sort of heads. They walk around the Fred Perrys and the Lyle Scotts, you know, the whole boys. And then up where we were in the fancy seats, because your man gave us this part of the stadium called the Academy.
Nice.
And it's free booze.
Yeah, he did
free
mention
food.
all of this, saying that they're kind of like.
It's brilliant.
Of course,
free booze, free food, and talk about. I loved going because it's brilliant watching a team who know their shit and just resign themselves to their shitness. So the chants were fucking hilarious. So like it's now it was 4-1 down they were.
Okay.
And they start chanting, "We lose every week. We lose every week. You're not that great. We lose every week." Followed by, "It's only 4-1. It's only 4-1. You must be losing it. It's only 4-1. It was fucking hilarious. Whereas normally you go to a match, if your team don't win, it kind of knocks the crack out of it.
Yeah.
There's such a beautiful resignation to sandwiches, points, lose again, go home. Great day
Everyone's
out for
had a
everybody.
great time?
Yeah, it was brilliant. Yeah, it was absolutely deadly.
Did you like maroon and turquoise?
Claret.
Claret.
It's London.
Claret
It's
blue.
claret. It's not
blue.
fucking maroon. Oh,
Sorry.
that's a northern accent, isn't it?
I don't think it's even an accent. Did you go in like because the way now you're full on pug. So did you go like in a jersey or what did you wear?
No, I didn't know. I was wearing essentially the clothes I was wearing for the podcast.
You
T-shirt.
You just wore them on Friday and stuck with them till Sunday night. Correct?
No, I changed my jocks. I changed all the essentials. Everything that touches the skin was changed. Everything that doesn't wasn't.
Okay.
So it was grand. Yeah. And then when got the airplane home, did not do a poo in the plane like we were talking about. Did not get anything trapped. But did you see? We were talking about this, right? We were just did this piece in the podcast. I'm talking to Alan like he gives a shit, right? But it was like this piece where if you flush the toilet on an airplane, it sucks so hard you could lose your testicles because it gets sucked down. You get strangled. You have to be removed by a man. But then I was looking. Did you see the amazing footage of Kim Jong-un's car? Did you see it? Fucking unbelievable, right? So there's this footage of him and he's driving his car, and cause he's a prick, instead of getting other motorcycle outriders or anything to go with him, he has all the security guards running after the car, running beside him. So he just drives around and they have to fucking run and keep up, right? And he's such an arsehole. It just made me laugh so much after what we were talking about in the podcast. He's got a toilet in the car. So he just hops over and he can have a shite or a piss when he's going to meetings. No problem in the car. No problem.
Commode.
Talk about a not giving a fuck attitude.
I'm just sitting there waving at people, just doing your business.
I'll be brilliant. Imagine
I presume he sits down to do the wheeze though.
Oh well, yeah. Well, I don't know. He's small enough. He probably wouldn't have to worry. He's a bit of a Miggledy Higgins thing going on. He could probably stand in the back of the car. But imagine having a proper old brown trout in the car and then bringing in one of your generals or dignitaries and having a chat seriously and not being ashamed of yourself. The man's deluded.
You gotta
but
go.
I admire his confidence. I do. I admire his confidence.
So that's what you're looking into for the next year for your car.
I think I'd be into it. I think I'd be into a Portaloo.
Commode into this car.
Yeah, just go in.
Because I presume it's not a flushable, like an airplane.
I don't know. Maybe it is.
I know it'd have to be a little commode. I'd say.
I don't know.
He probably thinks that his shit doesn't stink, so he probably just do it, move over.
See, nobody would ever dare tell him. No one would ever dare.
Yeah,
he'd be the type of lad that he does a poo and then he'd be like, "It's the smell bothering you." I'll be like, "Oh, I thought it was your aftershave. Oh, I'd love to get some of that." You know what I mean? Oh, that's good. Huh? I don't know. I was kind of going to get racist and I decided just to stick with an old Dublin person instead.
It started off with
I was going, and then realised that's more Japanese. You know the way, it's Jay McSavage was saying about it. It makes sense. You know the way Koreans are like, what is it? But Japanese are like, you know,
I never really thought
Koreans
about
are basically the knackers of Asia. That's the thing. Because they say he does that thing. Never say he does the thing where it's like, all right, let's start. Show me how. You know the way.
And then the rest.
But the Japanese don't. They're like,
very
dignified, very dignified.
I'm just checking. Oh, I have to read you this. Liam Tuberfield does what you do. He the motocross bike stuff.
I never did motocross.
Or not motocross. He races bikes.
Oh yeah.
I get confused between all the biking
the
things, like trials, motocross, racing, whatever it is.
Yeah.
But he races them, and he fell off his bike a couple of weeks ago, and he's broken ribs in a bike crash. So he said, "Will we say hello to him?" So before I forget,
I know how you feel.
He said you did that. Did you do that?
I've done it. Yeah. No, I've broken all kinds of shit. Yeah. You kind of get used to it almost, which is the sad part of it. But this is a crappy time if you're a racer because the season has kind of just started, so he'll be raging.
Oh, really?
You don't mind getting smashed up in November?
Really?
Yeah, because Christmas is coming. Gets you out of buying presents. You're off season. You can have a chance to get strong again before March rolls around. Getting fucking up around May is a real pain in the cock.
I hadn't thought it through.
It is. Yeah, it's the start of the season.
Bones. And before we leave London as such, but did you enjoy it?
I did. Yeah, I had a great time. I think it's safe to say we're going to do something again.
So Jerry from the Boogaloo was on straight again, and then people have said about maybe going to the Irish Centre in Leeds or to Manchester.
We're not doing the Irish Centre in London. Jesus Christ! Remember your man. He's the most difficult human being in the world.
I don't think
human being in the world.
I don't think that it's necessary that it's difficult. So
He is fucking difficult. It's the most difficult fucking You know when you're talking to someone and it's like, when is free? Well, when would you like to go? I don't have your fucking calendar. Well, maybe you could suggest 5 dates. You know this shit. Give me 5 of your best dates. It's like saying to a comic, 5 of your best jokes. Let's see. And then you're like, oh, we don't. Right, here's 5. None of those are free. Give me another 5. You're the one with the fucking calendar. You tell me
it's
what's
funny
free.
how much it frustrated you though.
I know so much that I
4 weeks that, and then you just fucked it over to me and went,
I can't deal with him.
But
I said I can't deal with him.
If anybody hasn't heard this podcast, when we were trying to book London, PJ was, I'll do that.
I'm having a
I'll do that. I'll 100% do that. I'll spin West, taste him. I'll do that. And then says to me 4 or 5 weeks later, I haven't got around to that. Is there any way you could take that over? So I went, fine, I'll take it over. So I took it over. And about 4 weeks into it, and about 17 emails later, I went to PJ, this lad, I said, he keeps coming back. He goes, I know. And I was like, oh, you dickhead. You sold me down the river. Be careful of eating. Do you know, true story, there's a Facebook page on one of the Radio X Facebook pages for the guys that are on Saturday morning, and there was a whole group conversation going on about coming to see us in London.
Oh.
And so people were like, who's going to go to the Boogaloo and see them and whatever? And one guy, I think Wigglesworth was his surname, said he stopped listening to the Dubland podcast after the podcast that I edited. Now, this is pre-you, Alan. This is when I was pregnant on Hannah. So this is like 50 episodes maybe ago.
Yeah, he gave up on it.
He gave up. And then I profusely apologized, apparently. And everyone went, no, she never really did it again. And he went, no, he said she profusely apologized. And she did it again 2 weeks later. So he's never came back. He's never listened to a podcast ever again because I ate on a podcast one day. I was eating a sandwich.
Can't say I blame him. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Really, you've done way worse.
Yeah, no, I have, yeah. But I've also wanted to stab people in the head for eating when you're not in the humour for listening.
No, but I was over.
There's
who's just had a finger into the microphone a second ago.
Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah.
Anyway, so London was amazing. So we will try and do another show somewhere along the lines. We'll try and figure it out and figure out where we're going to go. But it won't be the London Irish Centre.
Somebody here wants you to come to Scotland.
Oh, yeah, I'd love to go to Scotland. Scotland's the crack.
Now, we'd need more than one person.
Yeah, but we thought we were only going to get one person in London, so surely we can drag out a few Scots as well.
Maybe. Do you have friends? Who is in
I bet you that's your man that was in the toilet. I bet you that's... All right.
No, somebody else said.
What's a fucking stat in here?
It's somebody anonymous. JCS 1728.
That's a catchy.
Do you know him?
JCS 1728. JCS. Yeah. That sounds... Makes you start thinking, right, Scotland, JC, Jesus Christ. So he's one parish of Europe. It's definitely a Protestant or a Catholic. We're
going back down this road again. we probably offended half of the Protestants in the room. Which only after I realised that I was trying to say, we were trying to figure out, like, we were talking about the Protestants and toasters and stuff, and I was trying to figure out about, who was, and I went, if you're a Protestant, raise your left hand. I mean, I could have picked any hand as like, raise your left hand if you're a Protestant. Who says that? It's the conversion. That's really...
Raise your left hand. Yeah, I don't know why that feels weird. I don't even know what's so odd about.
But it feels really racist or something to say to,
like... Yeah, let's raise your left hand. Is that fucking world we live in now? Saying raise your left hand.
Don't people say...
Oh my God, she said left hand. What a fucking race. Did you see today there was...
Well, you brought up the bombings and brought up the IRA and just basically said that they're
I just said, I stand by it, that they'd have Irish terrorists back tomorrow morning over these mad shower fuckers. You know what I mean? They're bringing terrorism a bad name is basically what I was saying.
We elaborate a little bit on that.
Did you see on Slate today? There's this ridiculous article. This is I wasn't even going to say this because I get so upset about this bullshit. But see, there's someone did an article saying, because she heard this fella shouting at, what's that Amazon voice? You know, like the Alexa. He shouted at Alexa, and she reckons he's a misogynist because he shouts at his fucking computer.
My 3.5.
How is shouting at a computer make you a fucking misogynist just because the voice? They're giving it a woman's voice.
My 3.5.
I don't want to assume Alexa's fucking gender or anything, but they've given it a woman's fucking voice, and he gave out to us because it doesn't understand. It's like I was doing my fucking material about it. These things are shit. So you go, fucking give me how many calories is in a banana? How do you feed a panda? No, that's not what I said, you fucking arsehole computer fuck. And then now you're a misogynist for fucking having a disagreement with your fucking computer.
Well, then I'm raising a tiny misogynist because my 3.5-year-old loses the head of Alexa. He's like, Alexa, play Frozen. And then she's like, Alexa, Frozen. And I was like, Alexa, this is me. And so I have a teeny tiny misogynist.
You do, you have a misogynist in the house.
Yeah.
Tell him to raise his left hand and fuck off.
So we had a great time in
Get your head
London.
around it.
Thank you very much for everybody who came, and we promised. And then and I say that, and then everyone's like, "You're gonna come back to Dublin. You're gonna do another show in Dublin." So apparently, people like to go and see the Dublin podcast live.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like,
It is. Yeah.
we just have to work around Precious's schedule.
Well, it's not that bad now.
Because you are saying no. You're just a girl who can't say no. So
I'm
now
learning.
you're just saying
I'm
no.
learning to say no, and I'm
Okay.
saying yes to shit that's fun. Yesterday was fucking fun. You know, there's this big cruise ship in town. You've seen
Oh
that?
my god!
The celebrity something that's called.
This is bizarre that you say this.
Yeah.
So my flight home, I don't know if you, because I was going to say to you, so my flight home, I flew with British Airways. So you know the British Airways flight from Heathrow is always connecting flights.
Yeah.
I was surrounded. Is this the one going to Iceland?
Yes.
Oh my god! I was surrounded by Americans coming home. When
It
I
was
tell
amazing.
you on Sunday,
I had a
I had the
great
worst
experience.
hangover of my entire life. I'm between two Americans, and your man's mad to have a chat. So anyway, and
Americans
he's like,
love chatting.
he goes,
My God, they love chatting. One of the Americans yesterday, what kind of a dog are those? It was like this lad, you know, because they put on the fucking show for the Yankee
Irish
Doodles.
Wolfhounds.
The Irish Wolfhounds, yeah.
Wolfhounds.
They're Irish
That's actual
Wolfhounds.
wolf
Is
toes.
that the actual name of the dog, or is that you describing the dog? I was like, that's the weirdest question I've ever been asked. As if I go, they are Irish Wolfhounds, but the name harks back to a different time. It's like,
Well, this
they're
guy,
lovely, like, they just want to chat.
these guys, I ended up sitting between a husband and a wife, and as I said, I drank copious amounts, and then we went to Gav's party on Saturday night, and I was so hungover. This is how bad I was on Sunday. I had to travel in the back of the car to the airport with a water and a plastic bag for fear of puking, right? Like, it was like, I was sitting, I got to the airport an hour and a half
Fucking
before.
ride yourself.
Oh, I was so, I don't drink that much because I can't. I get the worst hangovers, even if I have a little amount to drink. But when I have a lot amount to drink, I'm an absolute write-off. I'm fetal. But when I have to go to the airport, so when I get onto the flight, sit on the flight, this guy is like, you know, he's itching to talk. And then anyway, I kind of gave into it because it's like, maybe it'll keep me alive, because I genuinely thought I was going to die. I was like, this is it. I'm going to die midair, right? You know, on the way back to Dublin. And he's like, we're going on a cruise. And I was like, you're from Cleveland, Ohio, and you're going on a cruise from what? And he's like, to Iceland. I swear to God, I went to this man. I'm getting fucking pumped. Like, this isn't real.
It's brilliant.
He showed me the whole thing. It's Celebrity It's excellent. Is this the same Celebrity
Yes, the
Cruises?
Celebrity X. That's what it's called. I couldn't think of the name.
Oh, like,
X. I forgot the X
unbelievable.
bit.
So you got a tour.
No, man, it was amazing. More than a
Did you
tour.
get to go out? Oh, you had lunch and stuff.
See, fucking full-on steak dinner and wine and all sorts of shit. It was amazing. We basically pretended we were travel agents.
Amazing.
And they took us onto the thing to show us around. It's fucking unbelievable. I never thought I'd be into a cruise. I never, ever thought I'd
Now,
be
you
into
were
a
able
cruise.
to get off after an hour or two, though. How would you feel if that was like the week?
I'd love it. I'd fucking
Really?
love it. I swear I never thought it. To me, it was just a big, huge, floating, very nice prison, right? And then I'm on this.
I don't know about that now.
And then I'm on it, and it's fucking marvelous. Like, it's you don't have to do anything for yourself. And it's full of, like you said, huge Americans on mobility scooters and shit.
The Americans
being
that were on
pushed
my
around
flight
by
were
really small Filipino men. So for a start,
very
that's kind
strong,
of funny looking,
very
which is
strong.
so straight away you're like, this is entertaining, right?
Yeah.
And then there's there's young people as well, but they're like me. They're people who don't like fun. So it's fucking brilliant. They're not there to talk to anyone. And your woman, one of the tourists, travel agents was saying, you know, there's this kind of cruise, you know, which is for the sort of the blue, and then there's other ones that are more crack. Which are, I don't want crack. I want this shit. I want to just sit down, stuff my face with food, drink every day, hang around with old people who don't give a fuck about anything. It's amazing. You want to see like the amount of there's a half-acre field on top of the fucking thing. There's floating gardeners in the sea. I don't know what it is about that blew my mind.
Yeah.
A full library, cinema, 4 bars, 6 restaurants. It's fucking
It's not like
unbelievable.
an advertisement.
A swimming pool. Yeah, I know. Now it's going to cost you like probably, I don't know, $5,000 or
Yeah,
something.
it's not cheap. But this guy actually, as it turned out, he was sitting beside me.
And then you end up in Iceland, so you don't even want to get off the fucking boat.
No, I
It
don't.
saves you the bother having to check back in. You can see the whole thing from the fucking half-acre field up top.
Yeah, it's like,
There it is. There's Iceland. Grand. I don't need to check in again. I've fucking seen it. They'll bring me back downstairs. And it's one of those things you don't have to do anything for yourself. It's literally, how do I get over there? And the man goes, I'll take you over there.
yeah, the
It's like, can I do?
we rarely agree on things, but I think there could be something
I
in
really-
the cruise that I
yeah.
could be into.
I've done the adventure holidays, the hardship
Big.
holidays, going and hanging out with tribal people, and they show me their culture and all that shit. I told you all that when I got
What, did you
lost in
beat to
Fiji.
Benidorm?
No, Fiji, when I was in the Fijian Islands with the tribes and shit, and It was fucked up, and we couldn't get off. We all got sick. Ours turned into a fucking volcano. It was fucking unbelievable. We
got to the 100th episode, and you're telling me now that you lived in a Fijian tribe and you had an arse volcano. You haven't, because I retain a lot of things. I would have retained a volcanic ass. No, actually, I probably wouldn't have got that bit. But I would have got that you've lived with a Fijian tribe.
I didn't live with them, but I stayed with them for like a week or something. Yeah.
Sorry. Okay. How the fuck did you end up?
Told you the story.
PJ.
I fucking did.
We're like having a party now about it because I know you didn't tell me.
Well, me and my friend Pat
you told me about Greece.
Yeah.
You've been to Greece. You told me about New York. You didn't like New York. You've told me about. We've talked about other, but you have 100% never told me about.
Oh man, it was mental.
Really?
Yeah. Like we flew. Me and my friend Pat were flying all.
Every day's a fucking school day, isn't it?
We were flying all over the world. This is the thing. Like we'll go and see the world.
Okay. How old were you?
It was 99 or 2000 or. Well, no, it was around that time when
30,
the fucking
34.
computers were supposed to stop. It was around that time, right?
Okay.
And we went, so 34, very fucking funny. So we went, me and my friend Pat, we bought tickets round the world, whatever. Sort of when you could, this is back in the days when you could buy a loose ticket. Remember, you just bought a ticket and you could use it whenever you wanted. I don't think you can do that anymore.
I have no idea. I think that's for the kids.
Yeah, but you used it well. Yeah, so we used to buy one of these
like
loose fucking tickets. Yeah, use it, shit. Yeah. And then we went and I can't remember where we were. I think we were in Australia. I can't remember which came first, right? Because we were so fucking traumatized by this thing that happened in the middle. So we fly to Fiji, right? Now we've no money.
Okay.
So we're flying into an airport in Fiji that most people don't fly into. Like just you're pretty much landing off the arse end of a catapult type of airport.
Right.
And we arrived and there's this big fucking cage in the arrivals lounge. So you have to stop people from jumping on you. Do you know that way?
Oh yeah. So no, I guess.
So it's like a fucking cage. So it's like Indiana Jones shit. So straight to the like, you know, like Indy, like that sort of shit, right? And they're just trying to sell you rooms and boat rides and all this shit.
Cars.
So we just went with the first woman that was nice to us, that wasn't shouting at us. We just said she's cool. We're going with her.
So many people's lives.
Yeah, nice woman. Trust, you can always trust a nice woman. All these lads are fucking wankers. Nice, smiley woman, not being pressured. We're going with her, right? Take us into this room. Where do you want to go? We don't give a shit. We're fucking sick. We're not feeling good. We've been on the road for months. An island. Just find us an island. Oh yeah, no! I beg your pardon. It's called coming back. Pat had about 5 islands in his head he wanted to go to.
Right, okay.
All of them amazingly were booked up. They're all booked up. They're all fucking booked up, right? And then she goes, I have a
nice woman. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice
and then she's like, I know the best fucking wait, I have the place for you, right? Well, no, you know what I mean. You gotta fucking use the sort of suspension of disbelief or whatever it's called here, right? And then she shows us a map of Fiji, right? And Fiji is like one big mainland and then like a sort of boomerang shape of small islands.
Gotcha.
And say, imagine the map is like the size of my head. And then I put my arm out.
Right.
At the edge of my finger was the island she was showing. So it looked far.
Seems
right?
legit.
And we were there, hold on, how fucking far away is this? And she was there, 1 hour and a half. Right? We were there 1 hour and a half. Grand.
You get there.
How'd you get there? You get a boat. She gives us the boat ticket. So we're sitting there on pier, no boat. Right? There's just like a couple. There's like this little boat that looks like a Fiat Punto that's had its roof ripped off, sitting in the middle of the fucking thing. So that's not it. We're sitting there waiting for the boat to run. No boat. We've thought we've been ripped off. Then your man in the Fiat Punto floating just goes, everybody, all aboard! We get on with 2 other people, 2 other British girls, right? He heads off. He drops them off. About an hour and a half later, goes, not you 2 yet. We run out of diesel in the sea. He then empties one thing of diesel and sucks the fucking diesel out of a tank and starts siphoning it in because he can't fit it. He can't fit the amount of fuel we need into the fucking boat to get where we're going. He does that twice more. It was a 5-hour fucking boat ride to the middle of fuck off in the middle of shit pant nowhere. And we finally get there. It's not a fucking resort. It's a fucking tribal island, right? And all these young kids are coming out going, hey, right? It's me and Pat. And they come out, they're grabbing our bags and fucking bringing us on. There's one other New Zealand fucker who's he doesn't know how to get off. He doesn't know how to get off the fucking place. How long have you been here? He said, about 5 days. It's fucking great. It's amazing. This isn't fucking amazing. He said, have you got toilet roll and a flashlight and all? No, you haven't fucking had. Thought we were going to a fucking resort. And then it was so dark, and you no electricity. No, so when it got dark, you just had to sit down till it got bright again. Because you couldn't fucking see where you were going. You couldn't see where you were fucking going.
They didn't have a drinks reception for a welcome.
You fucking joking? And that's the other thing. There was like 6 crates of beer on the boat with us.
Yeah.
They brought them in, and that's the beer they sold to us when we were on the fucking island. That was it. So it wasn't exactly the most popular place in the world, right?
Okay.
And they drink this shit called cava all day, and they just like clap and so they're all fucking
like cava,
stoned.
like prosecco kind of cava. Like
No, they call it
cava.
no. So like a
It's
root.
like that seems. I mean, I think we
No,
stumbled on something I would have been
It's a
interested
root
in
thing,
there.
right? It's a root thing. It just gets you out of your mind, right? Of course,
Right.
they're grand for drinking it. We get bored, we drink it, and our arse turns into chocolate fountains for fucking 3 days. Like, so it's fucking.
I presume the
The
facilities,
whole
the
thing.
toilet facilities.
There
were
was no
incredible,
toilet
were they?
facilities. There was like a hole in the ground.
And you
Nothing.
didn't bring toilet roll.
No, we nothing. We fuck dragging your ass along the ground like a fucking dog with worms. The whole thing was fucked. The whole thing was absolutely fucked. He showed us where we're staying. It was like this little hut made of sticks and rope. And
Well,
one
at least you
night,
had shelter.
with one book, and it was about serial killers, right? And we fought over that book because that was the only form of entertainment you had until it got dark.
But would not read the other one to the no.
Oh Jesus! I never even thought of that. But we all knew. We knew we had to pretend we were enjoying ourselves because if one person
Oh,
broke,
ow!
the other
What
person.
fell?
If one person broke, the other person would have broke with them.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
it was like your man Brian Keenan and thing.
Okay. Now,
they
to
locked
be
up
honest with you, we're going
in the Lebanon arc.
a bit stressful there.
I'm fucking telling you.
Side.
And one night,
I
right?
think Brian
Here's
Keenan
when
was there for like 3 years. Or
yeah,
something,
but if he was only there for 2 weeks or a week, it would
on
have
a
felt like us.
holiday,
Right?
with free
We
drinks.
felt like him after 10 fucking days, right? If we were there having another something year and a half, it would have been different, right? But I'm telling you, this is how it felt, right?
Okay.
And we knew we hit our lowest point when we were sitting there, right? Thunder and lightning storm one night.
Oh,
And I was sitting on the edge of the bed, totally
With
dark.
a bed. Come on, there's a bit of luxury.
What, for fuck. I'm sitting on the edge of the bed, right?
Right
The edge
side.
of the bed. And it's just a hut, right? So your man's bed is as far from me as you are. I had no idea he was sitting on the edge of his bed. And a flash of lightning just went boom. And for a split second, we saw each other looking at each other. And nobody said a word. Nobody said a word. And then we sat there all night listening to. About 10 minutes later, another flash of lightning. The two of us are still a foot from each other. And that's it. Half a second of seeing each other. It was fucking misery. It was absolute fucking misery. And then we're both sick. And we went to fucking ask your man who brought us there, how the fuck do we get off this island? Like, no offense, but we've had enough now, thanks very much. And he starts laughing. You boat may come. You boat may not come. Fiji time. We're like, this I can't. I know he's being nice. Oh, and we're fucking sitting there, like the first night, your man says to us, what do you want to eat? Do you want meat or chicken? And there was a goat and a chicken in the front garden, right? And I said, do you have any fish? And he threw a strap and fucked off with a fishing rod. So there you go, yeah.
Man. Do you know what?
We couldn't get out of there quick enough. Pat was fucked. He got bitten by all these kind of sea lice and shit. And he got all infected up his legs. And we had to stay in New Zealand for fucking weeks while he got better. The whole thing was a disaster.
I don't think I don't think I've cried laughing at one of our stories, or one of your stories in the podcast in a long time. And I found out what the recurring thread that makes me laugh.
Yeah, misery on me.
Yeah, I love it.
If I get hurt boxing, I get wrecked. If I fall over in the shower, if I get hit by a car, basically anything that creates pain.
Precipice.
The priapism.
Priapism, that as well. Very funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you don't recommend it as a destination, is what
well,
you're
no,
saying?
I do. Just you need to go with a half an idea, and
A toilet roll.
And if that's your type of thing, just be prepared. I was turning up with shades and shorts and shit. No, I had a clue. I thought we were going to stay in. Yeah, I thought we were staying in like a budget hotel or something. Oh yeah. Oh fuck. Totally forgot about this bit. I totally forgot, right? So we're there for, I don't know, I think it was 7 or 8 days. We're sitting there, you can't get in the water because the sea lice are really bad.
Right.
You're just sitting under a tree with fucking nothing to do. And if you haven't got the serial killer book, you're really fucked, right? It was really shit, right? You couldn't talk to anyone. The kids just wanted to take your clothes all the time. It's like, I like your t-shirt, can I have it? You're like, fuck me, man, I've nothing left. I've nothing fucking left, right? And then we're sitting on the other, right? Here's the fucking shitter, right? So we meet this other white lad walking down the beach. We're like, oh, how's it going? He's there. Oh, you staying here? We're like, yeah. And he goes, there's a fucking proper hotel up around the other way on the far side of the island. And they sell chocolate cake and milkshakes and all kinds of shit. We're like, you're messing. He's there, no. Went up. It was covered, right? It was oh man. It's like, in Alive, when they started eating each other, and then they realised if they had to go the other way, there was a fucking shed full of provisions. It felt like that. And I'm chatting, and then we go up there, and it's covered in cats. There's cats everywhere. But Pat, I'm afraid he's afraid of cats. And I sat down while he stood on the beach, and he had to watch me eating a fucking ice cream and drinking a smoothie and eating a cake But he stood on the beach, and I was like, I'm sorry, man, there's nothing I can do. The poor
Did you not
bastard.
go and stay there then?
No,
In the hotel?
no, there was
'Cause
only
that
a-
would have been the sensible thing to do, right?
Yeah, no, there was only a couple of days. I can't remember. I think you nearly accepted your fate at that. And to be honest, once we had realised that you could go there and eat normal and meet people and not just
And
be
then go
sitting
back
there
to your
and
hut.
go back to the hut, you were all right, you know.
So you're probably doing what most people think happens, like on I'm a Celebrity and stuff, is that, you know, they think that they go into the jungle and that they actually piss, or, you know, Bear Grylls, the island, think they piss off to luxury hotel, and they actually do slum it.
They
like,
actually do
unlike
slum
you.
it, yeah. Yeah, no, we know. Yeah. Oh, it was it was an absolute pisser.
That has given me
I can't
so much
believe I
joy.
never told you that.
Oh, that has given me so much. Thank you for that is the perfect story for the 100th episode. That really, I've loved that. And what fell on the ground?
Oh, just a book.
Do you need to pick it up?
Well,
or
No,
anything?
no,
Is
it's
that
fine. I don't need it. No, no, no.
No,
how many
okay.
people are watching, or is anybody even watching? Is it just us?
There was 80. You've lost some people. It's 70 now.
Oh,
But people are coming and going, you know.
Fair enough.
Alan Eyre is convinced that you've told that story before on the podcast.
Yeah, I think I
Take
did.
it up with him.
I think I did.
Maybe
I
I
think you
wasn't
might be right.
listening.
Maybe she wasn't listening. That's lovely, isn't it?
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
really
yeah.
don't remember it though.
See, there's a few binge listeners. They might remember it, but but that was
Now,
definitely.
see that, and this is the thing which we talked about as well, because we're 100 episodes in. Like, this is the gas thing, is that people are now sending, like we were talking about China Terry on Saturday. People are sending us things now that I don't remember. Like, as it was saying, there's so many spoilers that are going to go on between now and then. Like, as in, you know, like we talked about, I'll lose my job, I'll get pregnant, PJ goes on a health kick. You know, you've a lot to get through. A lot of things will happen.
Oh
You'll
yeah,
go
yeah.
to New York, you'll hate it. You'll go taking Pokemons off people's boobs, things like that.
Oh,
will
fuck
happen.
on all that shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but people remind you these things.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff in here. Do you want to?
Oh, go on.
Do you want to
What are
get some
people saying?
questions?
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
questions
why
are
not?
good,
And then I have a hero of the week again this week.
amazing. My hero of the week went down.
Yeah, yes. Royal family hero of the week. She's out of my mind.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
There's a lot of people saying hello and
Hello.
whooping, and they're fantastic and all that kind of stuff.
Thanks.
Champions League on TV, Dubland on laptop. If Carlsberg
Yeah, I was
Someone
watching
give,
Champions
um,
League
can
actually.
someone
What's the
give
score
PJ
at the
a
moment?
score update?
Because Real Madrid have just scored, so if anybody wants to send
give us a score update there.
Like I don't have a fucking phone right in front of me to check it. But anyway.
In the UK, you can marry your cousin. Joey Donnelly's here.
Hello, Josie. Josie was my Joey. Did he say you can marry your cousin?
No,
I was
no.
just going to swear I'm
Andrew-
married to you, Joey.
Andrew Thomas says the legend Joey also in the chat.
Is
Owen
Joey
Downs.
chatting? Is Joey
Yeah,
chatting
he's
to
here,
people
yeah.
there, though?
Joey, Dublin Live podcast pre-Dubs game and juries. Now that's a day.
Oh geez, that's a great idea.
What's that?
You know, Jury's Crow Park Hotel do a Dublin podcast live before a championship match.
No, that would be very
That would be
good.
that's a brilliant idea. Now that's a
I wonder
fucking
how
brilliant
we could do
idea.
that.
Joey then said, wouldn't be bad, hard to get free these days. Try to get organised to go to this kid's work in the way.
Oh yeah, Joey was going to come in. He was going to come
Okay.
in this evening, but then he didn't get home until literally about 6 months before I left, and we went. We let outside the house, like that, and then he brought the kids upstairs, and I brought the kids down. I said bye, and that's been my life with Joey for the past 6 days. It's very busy.
Very nice.
Anybody else asking anything else?
Loads.
Okay.
Paddy wants to know, do you not stand before flushing the toilet?
What?
Oh, for your balls to go down the toilet.
Oh yeah, but yeah, I know he's right. I know we're talking about the airplane toilet,
Yeah.
but you're very
Stand up.
limited with space in an airplane toilet. You know what I mean? Very limited with space. So maybe you're just having a wee, and then if the suction's fairly high, you could be standing in front of it and it would still get a grip. You know what I mean? Any sort of sealed sort of environment like that. You know what I
Thanks
mean?
for the visual. Any other questions?
Andrew Thomas also wants to know, has PJ called Joey with any more problems or observations?
I haven't actually. No, I have to get onto him about
Will we
something.
arrange
soon.
it?
But
something.
Joey says only car-related problems that
Lately, it's just
cost him money.
car-related.
Oh yeah, there was car-related problems actually. Yeah, which
Yeah.
is sort of
Were
be
you
out for.
happy with
Brendan.
the service?
I was, but of course, it was a total pain in the arse, and he had to come back about 3 or 4 times to fucking sort me out because nothing's ever
Everybody,
simple with
that's
me.
absolutely everybody. Okay, is that Andrew with Harry the blind dog?
Andrew
Harry
Thomas.
Yeah, he has a dog
Oh, yeah.
called Harry who's blind. I don't like dogs, but I particularly like that one. Although I'm changing. There's a dog on, and I don't. Maybe this is the reason I like him. There's a dog on CBeebies at 5 called Waffle. As a Waffle the Wonder Dog. Now it is the fact that my kids are like Hannah's obsessed with dogs, but my kids for 7.5 minutes they literally go. Hannah goes out barking to tell you that it's on, and then you go in. I know she's like waffle, 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 and then she sit like that. Oh, can't tell you how much I live for it. And then I've started to record it.
Oh, of course you have.
So I think that it's a Labradoodle.
A Labradoodle.
Labradoodle, yeah.
Yeah.
I like it. And as far as a dog goes, if I was committing to a dog, I'd commit to one of those. I'm
I
not
don't know if
committing
you
to a
would.
dog.
They're very energetic Labradoodle.
He's gone. That's the end
You
of that
see,
one.
yeah, you need something more
yeah.
laid back. You
But
need,
Harry,
you need one of those dogs that are kind of
sedated.
Yeah, the ones that kind of look like they're half alive. Like, you know those English bulldogs that kind of
Like their tongues sticking out.
they just go away groaning all day. They're not in
Maybe.
humour
Well,
for anything.
Andrew has a dog called Harry who's blind. It's a little kind of Shih Tzu kind of thing. It's cute though. Anybody else have anything else?
People are talking to Joey.
Stop talking to Joey.
Joey nicking all the fucking limelight on the podcast. It's unbelievable.
Lorraine Boylan was having withdrawal symptoms after Saturday at the Bungalow. Now sorted. Your shot was tequila rose, Suzanne.
Jesus Christ! It tasted like amoxicillin. You know, like a kid's. It was pink, and I actually said to Lorraine, I was like, "I don't do shots." She's like, no, it's like it's not even a real shot, right? It was tequila something. It was like
tequila rose.
Tequila rose.
Oh, that was the start of the.
You had one. She had 5 apparently.
Well, I don't know how you were standing because I couldn't see straight.
And then there's a nauseated face, I'm told.
Yeah, good.
So thanks again
for
coming. Can't wait for you to come again. Come to Newcastle or Edinburgh.
We're gonna try and do.
Yeah, there's got because there was a woman there. That
sounds like you need to do a full UK tour.
Yeah, there was a woman there that knows her shit. She was like a publicist woman. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think Suzanne's gonna send her out there to fucking do things and talk to people who know people.
We're gonna talk to Megan
and get shit sorted and all of that, you know.
And we'll figure it out. But we will definitely do something. But precious on time over here. We do have to figure it out.
Jesus!
He has a television show. He has to record.
Although that's
anyway.
I can't say anything about that, but there might not be such a rush.
Okay, great. Well, that gives enough away. So shut up.
Right.
PJ's told, like, under no circumstances mentioned. But I'll say nothing. But what I'll say is on Wednesday the 28th at 4:30. Go on.
Chocolate finger is what PJ's doctor has after a visit from PJ.
Oh Jesus,
I know that's related to.
Yeah.
He's been talking about one of the stories about being 40 and intrusive doctors going where it's none of their business.
Where he gets his kicks these days.
Where can I get a Dubland mug?
So these mugs, it is underneath has the. You never took your mug home.
I didn't know I had it.
We open them here. Bring it home with you. So all the details are underneath. See under there.
Oh, so you can get a Dubland mug and personalised mugs, plaques. Oh, that's the fucking list of stuff. Mugs and gifts at aircom.net. That's where you can come.
Yeah.
Yeah, mugs and gifts at aircom.net.
They're on Instant and stuff, but they made them and sent them into us. But everybody asked, and it was like my Have Notions bangles and stuff. People ask about those all the time. They're the bead pot.
Do they come from the same place?
No, it was a British company did the thing. And actually, there's an Irish company that have a T-shirt that says Notions. I was going to get it for today. I just didn't have time.
Fuck it.
No.
087 419 4129.
That's a really bad idea. That's a really bad idea.
087, ring this fella here.
No, don't.
087 4129. That if you're in England, then that's 00353 87 4129 880. And tell him you want a Dubland mug. Here, bit of business
for girl, I think.
I'll tell. Oh fuck's sake, me presumptions. I'm such a misogynist. I was shouting at the computer yesterday.
Alexa.
Tell that person you want a mug.
Anything else, Alan?
Leeds.
Leeds.
Got to come to Manchester.
If we did Leeds, we could do Manchester. People could come because it's not too far.
Yeah,
we do the Leeds Irish Centre actually. Great.
Suzanne, it's Jan from Instagram.
Hello.
I'll be up for a Scottish gig, maybe during the Fringe.
That's August, is it?
That's August, yeah.
Come to Middlesbrough. You'd need a big pub. I am the bloke who took his new cat out on a lead a few times so she could get used to the garden.
I love that. I love the idea of an Englishman walking his cat in a lead. It's something so amazingly English about the whole thing,
Jane
isn't it?
Does that. She has her cat.
Is she English?
No, she's Irish.
Yeah, it's just something very English about it. I just see a top hat and a monocle of a man with a cat on a lead. You know, it just seems very sort of gentlemanly or something.
My cousin Christopher, he has a cat called. He doesn't actually own this cat. He's a proper pedigree, like expensive, fluffy thing, and called Gomez. They call it G-Cat. It comes and stays in the house, and they've just established that it just comes and stays whenever it wants. But I think they should start buying him clothes, like putting little jackets on him, so that when he goes home, his owner's just like, Jesus Christ, Gomez, where have you been? And like, you know, having little gangster hats on him.
Brilliant.
I just think
I love all
buy
that.
outfits and just send him home in the outfits, and then because imagine like your cat just arriving back wearing a puffer jacket, you'd be like, where have you been? Or like a little rave t-shirt, a rave to the grave or something on it. Or, yeah.
A cigarette now.
Okay, you don't need to kill it.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
do you want to do your hero of the week?
Yeah, I
We'll come
do.
back to
Yeah,
more
so you know the way I
questions.
love a cheat, right? I found a story that I fucking love. I love people who just take a chance. I don't give a shit. I love drugs and sport. I'm into it.
Okay.
All of that shit. I keep saying it all the time. Just have a bit of crack. Do what you
Literally.
need to do.
Literally.
I just not well. I do. I do. I love drugs and sport. I don't love drugs and sport, but I just think
Oh, did you get a
if I was
score
doing
update?
sport, I would be doing it. But no. But this lad, he's a wildlife photographer of the year. Did you see this fella?
No,
He's fucking dead on,
I've
right?
seen nothing.
Oh, he's brilliant. His name is Marcio Cabral. He won the Wildlife Photographer of the Year. He won it, right, in animals in their environment category, right? So he
Oh,
won it.
wow. This is almost like an animal fact.
It is almost like an animal fact,
They're
right? So,
merging.
but he did it. He won it, and he's a Brazilian lad, and they've taken the prize off him because they found out that it was this amazing photograph, right? This photograph, it was called, what was it called? The Night Raider. That's what it was called, right?
Okay.
And it said this amazing photograph of an anteater or an aardvark, to use the Latin term. Right, was it hanging on a tree, scoffing ants, and it's all bent over. It looks absolutely perfect. It's the most perfect shot, right? You don't get these fellas like this. Got it, took a picture, sent it in. Animals in their natural environment. World Wildlife Photographer of the Year. The award, he gets it. Turns out the fucking thing was stuffed. He nicked it off the gate in the local park. So he nicked it off the gate of his local park. Took it in, took the pictures, brought it back in, and there was such a controversy about it because it's hard to prove an animal's stuff by looking at a photograph.
Okay, I was about to say, how did they?
5 scientists who didn't know each other. They had to have a peer-reviewed scientific fucking thing where they had to get 5 scientists all to look at it, say yes, there is unnatural sort of things with its hair and the way its ears are shaped and whatever. And they all have to go,
Marble eyes.
But what I love the most about El Marcel, he's not having any of it. It's definitely real. The fact that it's shaped exactly the same as the one that's on the gate of the park that the picture was taken in is pure coincidence. He's not having it. He's not having it. He's absolutely sticking to his guns. It's fucking brilliant. He's the Lance Armstrong of wildlife photography. He is not. He's not for bending.
Does it state that the animal has to be alive?
Yeah. No, it's the category is literally animals in their natural fucking whatever the fuck.
But
it's literally whatever the fucking animal fuck. What, you know what I mean?
Like technically, the animal is in his natural habitat. He's just dead in his natural habitat, eating not eating ants.
Sure.
So, like, if you want to be facetious or pedantic about it.
Yeah, I know, but you're never going to get away with it because then you just have stuffed animals. There'll never be a real animal shot.
I mean, I kind of like the idea.
Never.
Of that,
like next one would be a cat smoking a cigarette. The animals in their natural environment. A tiger with boxing gloves.
I really like that. Actually, speaking of Hero of the Week, we got this tweet a while ago, or someone sent it to me saying, and this isn't from the actual person. It was like they sent a tweet that like went viral. And it was like, I just had an awesome experience at Starbucks at Eastgate in Chapel Hill, NC. Caleb has a degree in zoology, and he asks the customers what their favorite animal is, and then he gives them facts while making their orders.
What?
Yeah, and then he does draws a little animal on the cup. Yeah, so he's in. So someone tweeted and then was like, "This is a really good one." Yeah, so Starbucks at Eastgate in Chapel Hill and NC. I think where would NC be?
North Carolina.
Don't know, yeah.
In the States?
Yeah, but anyway, whoever this Caleb kid is...
Caleb is a real North Carolina name as well, isn't it?
Caleb reminds
Caleb, you get the thing.
Caleb
is good with animals.
Oh, see, don't say that now, right? Can I point out, Joey's watching this, right? So, Caleb reminds of Seven Brides for Seven Brothers, but I liked the name Caleb when I was pregnant. And at one point, because obviously, like pregnant, and me, obviously, as well. But pregnant women should be very careful. And I was like, I really like the name Caleb. Can we put Caleb?
Sounds like such a serial killer.
His surname.
Caleb Kane was found living in his bolt hole. You know the way when a fella lives in a bed sit? Well, when you're a murderer, it's not a bed sit anymore. It's a bolt hole.
Well,
Caleb Kane in his bolt hole was found with a head in the fridge.
Caleb Kane could be doing show tunes, tap do whatever he wants to do.
Yeah, that's true as well.
Anyway, Caleb Kane.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Caleb Kane.
Yeah. Caleb Kane would have been Caleb Donnelly anyway, but yeah, he vetoed it. Caleb didn't have it.
Yeah, Caleb Donnelly doesn't have the same. No. Do you know?
What?
It only dawned on me the other day. Dawned on me. Is Donnelly, which is the first and original name? Donnelly or Donnellan?
I don't know.
There's a reason I'm asking this. Because the Donnellans are fucking racist, man. And I forgot all about it. All of them.
Well, my surname is my married surname is Donnelly.
Is it? I'm telling you. Have you seen the family crest for the Donnellan family?
No, we're Donnellys, not Donnellan.
Well, there's variations of each other. And whichever one's of them Donnellans.
I'm Donnelly.
You're Donnelly.
And I'm not even.
And Joey's
I'm only
what?
by name. He's Donnelly.
He's a proper Donnelly.
Yeah.
Right, so he's just escaping through the racist ring of fire by a
They're northern, aren't they, Donnelly?
I don't
It's a
know.
northy name, I think.
Have you seen the family crest of Donnelly? I
No.
dare you to Google it.
Here,
It's a
I
black
look
man tied to a fucking tree. That's what it is. That's what it is. And I remember it from when.
Although I had a teacher.
And it's an
in
Irish
school.
family crest.
Wow.
Like it's not exciting, isn't
Oh
it?
my god.
It
Now,
is.
can I just to clarify?
It's the
I am
worst.
I am by marriage. I'm Donnelly, not Donnelly.
Yeah, but she's obviously changed it because to get away from your filthy past.
Well, I reiterate, I'm married into this family.
It's the most. I can't believe I forgot it. Because I guess here's how I remember
Oh my
it.
God!
Yeah, it's a black man tied or chained to a lemon tree. If I'm right, a
Yeah.
lemon tree.
Now, to read, that's Donnellan. So Donnellan. I'm Donnelly.
Yeah,
By marriage.
well,
Not
yeah.
that I'm like renouncing my
I
marriage.
totally forgot about this, and it just reminded me. When we were talking about surnames and family crests and everything the other day, myself and Jim were talking about it,
Right.
and I remember a fella. I shouldn't say his first name, but right, Larry Donald, right, and we were in school, and he was like we were asking family crest, and he drew that, and he got in so much trouble because people thought he was
No,
messing.
look, the Donnellys have two
And
people dancing.
Oh,
Ours
yeah,
is
yeah.
Much nicer.
But
Oh,
people
the
thought
hand
he was
in the middle.
messing. What?
Bit of a red hand also there in the middle.
Oh, that's all. Yeah, just well, that doesn't really mean much. They're $20 and all. But people thought he was messing. He got in so much fucking trouble because they thought he was messing. Of course, there was no such thing as internet, so he couldn't convince the teacher that it was actually his family crest. Poor
Oh,
fella.
shame.
And I completely forgot about it. But it's still the family crest of the Donlands. A black man chained to a tree.
That
It's
would be
fucking-
like uncomfortable at a wedding, wouldn't it? Because you know the way sometimes at the wedding you have both of your family crests either side. Can you
Yeah.
imagine, like?
But it's like it's something you'd expect. If your surname was Hitler, I would get it, right? If your name was Anthony or Larry Hitler, you would expect.
To have a
Maybe you would expect something like that
have
to
a
be in
dodgy
your family.
crest.
But such a normal name as Donlan. I'd love to
Quite
know.
Irish as well.
Yeah, I'd love to know the history of the name.
If you
Because
go
most of us
into,
have an old fish or a
I have
few
a
crows.
cane.
I think the Rourkes have 3 squirrels. Me ma's one has just a black hand. It's like whatever. It all makes normal shit. It's all regular
You
sort
can
of
go,
shit.
you know, there's a place on beside Christchurch on the left hand side, the origin of a name.
Oh yeah, you know
you
you
can go in
You know
there.
we still have a herald in Ireland. Like we still have a herald in Ireland. You know that you can go and get your own family crest made up officially. It costs $4.5 grand.
I was about to say I'd look into that, but we don't have €4. Never mind.
Well, $4.5 grand it costs to get it designed and presented because you know every family crest. It's not really your family
Cane
crest.
is really boring. It's just 3 fish.
3 fish.
Three
see?
fish.
3
Oh, it's
fish.
3 fish.
It's
I
basically
don't even like fish.
it's lunch. It's like sushi. It's
If you're
basically.
into fish,
I'd love though to go in. If
don't
I
have
had,
one made.
if I had the money to burn,
Ah, you do because you're rich.
I know if I was genuinely rich, I would probably get a family crest done. But it
What
would be
would you
something,
have in it?
a mouse smoking a joint or something.
Weird game. I feel like I love the way he makes it real cash that he hasn't thought it through. Then meanwhile, like at home he has a sketchbook.
A mouse smoking a joint, or like a dog smoking a pipe and having a whiskey. Or something like that. You know, I'd say there's
All
rules
things
though.
to
You
look
probably can't
into.
just pick. Oh no, if you can have a black man tied to a tree, that's pretty fucking outrageous. That's not right.
But maybe
So surely it wasn't
maybe
a
it's
mouse
not.
smoking a joint. I don't even like smoking shit. I can't even smoke it.
We need
but
to
just-
look into the what the reality of that.
I know. I need. I want to find out.
Oh, but so 2 things we have to discuss because just it's normal service really in terms of podcast. Number 1, there is a brand new. Did you see this in Angel Street? There's a brand new cocktail bar after opening called the Lucky Duck.
I didn't see
It's
that.
3 stories.
Oh shit! The bed.
Yeah, so I just want to jot that down. as
Holy
to go
fart.
to. Yeah, I'm very excited
Getting
about
that
it.
into us
Yeah,
straight away.
yeah.
Fucking
3
hell.
stories only just open called the Lucky Duck. That's not a hashtag ad. It's just hashtag want to go there. Very
Big time.
excited. The Lucky Duck on
I'm
Angel
totally
Street,
into
which
that.
is like not far from here.
And and speaking of extraordinarily weird people and race issues, have you seen? You know your one Rachel Dulles? Remember the woman that she claimed she was black and she ended up head of the NAACP in the States.
No.
Remember her? And she was basically she just orange tangoed herself, and she
sorry.
wasn't
now
black at
now
all.
I can see your
She was just
yeah.
an insane white woman
Yeah.
that decided she was
Just
just going to be
tanning
black,
pills.
and then I think there was this weird. I'm going to be transracial fucking weird thing that came into it. She's got a documentary on Netflix
Oh,
all about her life.
stop.
Yes, I was watching it just before it came
Oh.
out. I watched the first 10 minutes and she's absolutely
What's it
batshit.
called?
It's insanely brilliant. I think it's called Dividing Rachel.
Dividing Rachel.
Yeah. It's,
Speaking of Netflix, 13 Reasons Why is back the 18th of May.
I see that, yeah, and it looks like it's gonna be deadly.
So so we had talked. If you haven't watched 13 Reasons Why before, we talked about it, and then it kind of left like a weird feeling with me because I just felt that was it kind of making suicide a bit.
Yeah, I remember you saying,
I kind of found it all a bit weird, but
I think
actually,
you're right now. In hindsight, I think you're right.
They kind of made it was all a bit glamorous. Do you know what I mean? It was all these people were linked. Now each of the stories got darker and darker and darker. And if you haven't watched it, don't want to give it away. But it all got darker as it went along. But then I kind of felt like it was so elaborate and there was so many people and
and all this.
It kind of felt so. I was like, you'll get copycats or whatever, and they acknowledged that. And then to this series that's going to come back with every series, they have like this almost like a handbook to go with it because they want to encourage people to talk about sexual assault, to talk about consent, and to talk about like bullying and everything else that goes in between, and like anxiety or fear or any of those things. But I actually think something really good is going to come out of it. And also I want to find out what's going on. Because obviously there's where we left it. And they pick up from that.
That kid about to do the big school shooting and shit. He's the one I'm fascinated
Is he going to do a school shooting? That's the question.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
But that's the thing. We're going to pick up from that and pick up from the incident with the pool. You remember the pool when she goes to the pool? So there's all that. And if you haven't watched it, go and watch it. It's May 18th. So I have to watch Terrifying Rachel or whatever it's called.
I think it's called Dividing Rachel.
Dividing Rachel.
But she's I watched the first 10 minutes. It's bizarre just to have a look inside the head. I can't wait. I don't know. I can't watch tonight. It's a bit late for me now. But and also, if I can do the absolutely fucking ridiculous, terrible, hedonistic, absolutely brutal thing of recommending a podcast that's not on the Head Stuff Network. It's fucking wrong. I know it is.
Go on though.
But they'd be on the Head Stuff Network if they were allowed. I'm sure. But
should they be allowed?
If have you heard the West Cork yet? No. The podcast West Cork. Have you heard it?
Yeah.
It is.
I don't know if I have.
Yeah. It's fucking incredible. It's about the Sophie Duplantier murder in West Cork.
Oh, wow.
In the 70s, how it's been dragged on, how it's still so relevant today. Basically, the story starts, Englishman moves, ex-accountant, moves from London, has had enough of it all, to West Cork, gets accused of killing this woman. It's all totally true. And it's better than Serial. It is one of the best crime podcasts. It's called West Cork.
West Cork.
The problem is, it's only on Audible. You don't have to fucking shit show.
Audible and
but it's fantastic.
Ricky Gervais is only on Audible as well.
Yeah, it's a bit of a shit show. But it's honestly,
these,
it's fucking
you can't really see them because they're all up too high, but like all of the faces of all the
Head Stuff people.
Of our Head Stuffs are all here.
Yeah, so listen to all of them first. And then when you've nothing else to listen to, listen to West Cork.
Because I see Alison Spittle's up there, and I did Girls with Goals on Her Daddy with Alison Spittle.
Oh, yeah.
I was a bit nervous about meeting her. I don't know why. I just was a bit like, I don't know. And she was like one of the funniest people I've I know obviously that's what she does for a living, so it's not that much of a.
Yeah, but she's very laid back. She's
so laid back. She's really wanted like a super girl. So then we decided that we were going to write a series together.
You did not.
Yeah, no, that probably nothing. We just made her set on the podcast. I will chase it up and be like, hi, Alison, do you remember you said you'd write a series with me? Before we finish, do we have any other questions?
Yeah, there's loads.
All right, okay. Alan is there.
Hello.
Head Stuff Network, and you can't see him, I don't think.
It was great to see you in London.
I might just move by itself that we're in. Oh, that we're in. What's it that we're in? Sorry.
You have to release most of it because this person was too drunk to remember.
Same.
You're welcome to the tequila, Suzanne.
Thank you.
Next one, Leeds. Animal facts? ?
Yeah, we ran out because of me fault because I'm too cheap to have real animal
facts. We have any tonight. We might do one in a minute.
Okay. Give them the song at least, maybe.
Yeah. Song is...
How's the Bows? You got an Irish English team, just a Scottish one to go.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm Irish. It has to be Celtic. You don't have a choice. I think you're told it has to be Celtic. I couldn't give a fuck about Celtic Rangers and all that shit. I really couldn't give a.
Is this that you have an Irish team, you have an English team, and anything?
Yeah, but I couldn't give a shite about it. It's too fucking wrapped up in all that old sectarian bollocks. I couldn't give a fucking riddlers about. I'm gonna pick fucking Hibs. Pick the Celtic of Edinburgh. That's my team for Scotland. Hibernian, that'll do.
They want to know how your hooliganism is going.
It's not hooliganism, man. It was a fucking disaster. Our Bows lost again yesterday. And
they're doing really shit, aren't they?
Yeah, thanks for a fucking great choice of bastard words there. But yeah, they are doing kind of shit.
Sorry, they're not stating the obvious.
They are actually playing really, really well. The problem is they're playing really well. They're doing great games, but they just let in soft goals and then they give everyone a head start.
Medal, isn't it? Oh, take it part. But didn't they win the one that they wanted to win though against Shamrock Rovers?
Yeah, they won 2 of them.
After all that, they've obviously lost heads, have they?
They've only won 3 games this year. 2 of them have been against Rovers. 15.
You just gave me abuse for saying that they're shit like that. Is that not stating the obvious there? Who are good then? Shamrock Rovers.
Cork and Donegal. Oh, not Donegal,
Donegal.
Dundalk. Cork and
Dundalk.
Dundalk and Waterford, who beat Bows yesterday, are very good.
Right, okay.
Yeah, Derry are pretty handy. Yeah.
A guy I used to go to school with played for Derry, and he played for like he lives in Australia now, Clive Delaney. But I do remember like that, you know, he like it was a big deal, like playing for League of Ireland. Like,
yeah.
I don't get it personally, but you know.
I'd say if you went to matches, it would change it because it is brilliant. The atmosphere is pretty amazing. To be honest, it really
that
is.
won't happen.
Somebody
Next
wants
question.
to know the standard difference from Man City to Bohemians.
Oh,
Standard
Jesus.
difference.
That's an Englishman's having a laugh at me, isn't it? It is.
Also, your so-called club, he's basically thrown you in front of the bus.
Yeah,
The team bus is like, oh, compare them.
yeah. No,
Sunday football and the Premiership.
let's
basically.
be honest. There's pretty much no comparison. You're talking a part-time football club who are in the Irish Premier League. It's imagine sort of Division 1 Scottish football. I think it's probably around that sort of level. That's probably around that level. So when you look at Manchester City, who are essentially up there with the Real Madrids and Bayern Munich's, it's a bit of a difference. A little bit of a difference. Mind you, we do have a Leicester City player playing with Bohemians at the minute. We have another Leeds player on loan.
Leeds.
He's playing with Bohemians at the moment. So it's not, you know, there is talent in it, but it's definitely a million miles from Premier League.
But how does that work out though? So if you're playing for Leeds, let's face it, they've been having an absolute nightmare, and your manager Leeds, I don't know, whoever that is these days, it's definitely not Mick McCarthy anymore. But he comes in and he goes, so we're just going to send you over to Ireland. And he's like,
well, it's not that big an
right.
insult, like, you know what I
He
mean?
goes, go play for Bulls. And they're like, oh, and how are they getting on? Well, at 15 games, they've won 3. So just pack up your little bag. And see you later. You'd just be sitting there going, because I presume you get paid.
Yourself. Well, there's a lot. Yeah, they get paid.
Obviously, you definitely get a lot more. Oh, so he still gets his Leeds.
No, if you're on loan, you're still getting your money from Leeds. So,
oh, that's grand.
So Dylan Watts is on loan from Leicester City to Bohemians at the moment. But he's
still getting Leicester City wages. I can assure you.
But Leicester City wages aren't.
Like, they're better than Bo's wages.
So he's on. The rumor is he's getting £3,000 a week. That's the rumor.
For losing fucking football games.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
I could go and get €3,000 a week.
So he's known as money bags, but in Irish football, he's known as money bags. That's like mega shit. Because I'm pretty sure the average Irish player gets paid under €1,000 a week. I think that's pretty much.
This is what they do for a living, though.
Well, some of them do. So Shamrock Rovers, Waterford, Dundalk, Cork, they're all full-time clubs.
Okay.
And then
but they only get like £500 a week. Sure, that's nothing.
Yeah,
no,
so all the Bohemians players, other than Dylan Watts and a couple, would
he can't be popular, can he?
No, he is. They love him, yeah, because they don't want him to go. He's going back to Leicester in July. They fucking don't want that to happen.
Well, it's not that they're fucked, to be fair, because they're, I mean.
Yeah, but I don't know what the Bows players are making, but it would be significantly less. Yeah, it wouldn't be a lot of money. You're talking a few hundred quid.
What I'm saying is for your actual, if that's your actual job and that's your wages, £500 a week is not. It's, you know what I mean? Like, for, you know, I know it's comparable, but like, even still, like, I'd say Scott, like Leicester City or Wolves or Leeds or any of them, they're still all coming out with a couple of grand a week for doing fuck all. Whereas, do you know, no, but
I know, it's true,
like,
it's true.
Because I know a little bit about football. I kind of I don't talk about it very much, or I don't get involved with it. But I knew a Premiership footballer really, really well. Like, and I remember like the wages he was on.
Yeah,
and like
mad money.
Like mental,
millions,
like mental money every single week. I remember like him saying, "This is how much you got paid a week," and I just sat there like I was about 20 or 21 at the time. I was just sitting there going, "What?" Yeah. And he was injured, and then like and then was like there was a whole bidding war for him to move to like one of the other bigger clubs.
Yeah.
And again, like the money was just astronomical.
Like Lionel Messi makes €250,000 a minute. A minute. Yeah. Every minute he plays. He gets a quarter of a minute. Every minute he's on the pitch.
But what I will say is that if Bows are that stuck, I would, for £3,000 a week, I would happily go and lose football with them.
You're a fucking jackass is what you are. They're not that. They're playing really good football. I'm sure things are going to come good.
Sound like a male
They're just not getting the results. I know. Oh,
Right,
I
any
do.
other questions?
I do.
We've been
Oh,
here
that
for an
hurts. I do.
I'll have to fly through some of these now.
Okay, go on.
Um,
Alan's like, I want to go home.
Yeah.
No. So you remember Laura, who is our former intern here?
Yes.
She wants to know, do you still have her badges?
I missed your weekly wander though.
Yeah. So you've got a Dublin badge. Okay,
Oh,
so there's a loat of people asking for Dublin badges. So
course.
Yeah.
so
We
I'll
gave a
ignore
load
that.
out in
You can
London
reply
again.
to those people later.
Okay.
I've to remind you of your promise to do a marathon.
Yes, I totally will.
Um,
Joey's now watching this, pissing himself laughing. Going, what did she
Yeah,
say?
yeah,
Everyone's
right.
stupid. Episode 2, I'm trying to think who that was from behind the bar. He said on episode number 2 that you were going to do a marathon. I was like, fuck you. But no, I will. And then the two of the girls whose names are gone out of my head sent me an email today about the wine marathon as well, which sounds like a Macan marathon.
Oh,
So
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
look into that.
more people wanting badges.
course.
Any update on season 2 of Young Offenders?
There is, but I'm not allowed
Can't
to
talk
say.
about it. And don't
I've
blur
already
about
said
it.
too much in this episode, so that I can't say anymore. Yeah.
Did you ever think Dubland would make it to 100 episodes? And
No.
How did it start off?
It
Oh,
started
right.
off because we were working together in the same place in another radio station. Well, this is fucking. I'll give you Suzanne's version of
No,
events.
you tell you what, you give your version and then I'll give the
Right, we were working. Suzanne was working in the radio station. I happened to start working in the radio station as well at the same time. So I didn't take a fucking job.
Just
We're working there at
tell
the
the
same
story.
fucking time. Right,
Tell
so
the story.
So then I got there. We got on quite well. We became sort of buddies. Suzanne's great. In fairness to her, she was great because I'd never worked on radio before, so she was great for giving me tips and shit. And I always wanted to do a podcast. So I said to Suzanne, would you do the podcast? Because she actually knows how to do this radio shit. And she said yes. And kind of, you went and set it all up then in the studio that we had at the time.
Mhm.
And that was it. So to be honest, I thought if we did 10, I'd have been fucking happy at that stage.
I don't think we thought it through. So
No.
As I said, so PJ came to the radio station and then I wanted him to do a podcast because I love podcasts. And I said, I used to tell him about all the comedians that I listen to. So I was like, you should do it. And he was like, can you help me out? So I was just going to do like what Alan does and facilitate the technical side of it. And then you were like, no, let's just chat.
Yeah,
we got on,
'cause-
we had a bit of a laugh and we were kind of didn't get on if we got on, if you know what I mean. Like we weren't working together on air every day. So we
No.
had a different kind of relationship. And then PJ went into our bosses and demanded more money, and then I got called in and I was told they couldn't afford to keep me
This
anymore.
is such bullshit.
None of this
such
is
fucking
factual.
bullshit. I'm on the
None of
same
this can-
fucking money I was ever on.
Can I just none of that's factually correct, but it's just balls. Anyway, I got let go, and I think we talked about this in the last episode, but I think that we maybe at that point we're kind of at a bit of a juncture, but we just kind of plowed through. I think maybe the radio station thought we would abandon it as well. They would have been delighted to be like, Jesus, split them up.
Yeah.
But we didn't, and we kept going. And then obviously I had babies, but we still kept going. And then we had no home. And then actually Derek from Humans in Dublin podcast sent me a message going, get in touch with Alan in Head Stuff. So we came here, and then Alan took us in as like little orphans like you.
Yeah.
Oh, the old orphans. And yeah, and here we are, episode 100. Oh yeah, and then PJ had a breakdown in November.
I didn't
So
have a
hence why
break
we're gone to
I got
fortnightly.
sick. I got very tired. So, yeah,
So ultimately, I think we'll try and go back to weekly at some stage.
I think we
'cause
will,
it's-
yeah.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
it's true, the fortnight, yeah, but we're just let us get through the summer, and then in September maybe
I think
we'll
so.
look at, we'll go back
Yeah,
to
I
trying
think
to
so,
do, but let us, because the summer's going to be a bit hectic for all of us. And that's it. And do you know what? I have to say, we take the piss out of each other, but I absolutely love this podcast. And I always think that
Fucking finally, something nice. And Suzanne Kane. I'm
I just
enjoying
say I
this. I
like
should have let
you.
her finish. I fucking blew it. Finally got a chance to listen to something nice.
I'm not to say I like you, I just said I like the podcast. No, I do. And do you know what? I will be really, and I don't think I've ever said this to anybody, but I do remember the first podcast going out, and I remember putting it out, and I remember thinking that it was the worst idea I ever had, because I had decided that I had agreed to do a podcast with one of the funniest men in Ireland. Like I was like, he's one. Like I liked you as a comedian.
Yeah, no, 100 later, you don't like me at
No.
all.
So it worked out.
She doesn't think
Worked
I'm
out.
funny either.
No, but-
Now I'm just an irritating fucking noise.
But honestly, it was like it was terrifying. I was like, PJ is really, really funny, and then I'm not funny, so it was kind of like, but actually it works because I'm not funny and you're funny, and yeah, it works.
I
So
don't-
I really like it. I really like our podcast. Yeah. So thanks. What else? Quickly.
Some Joey related stuff. Joey says, what's for tea? What time are you coming home at? I'm solo parenting here. And then people said Joey's the real hero of Dubland, and people want Joey to come to the UK for the next show. PJ, what's the best blooper from Young Offenders, either the film or the series?
Oh, that's a good one.
Ooh, I don't know. Jesus, I don't know. Probably the fight scene, when we did the fight scene, and I got
brilliant.
genuinely very fucking hurt, and the stuntman just says, was so, don't do that again. And I was like, is that it?
I went.
And then they cut that bit out. Was there the one fucking body slam that I took for the team that actually hurt, that looked completely real, because it was fucking real, and they took it out. And the stuntman just goes, don't do that again. They spent all this money on having a stuntman on set, and he did fuck all. Except stood there and watched us falling all over the place.
I love actually in that, because you can see how many takes it
The
eventually
grass is gone.
The grass is gone.
And if you know, at the start of the fight scene,
yeah.
the grass is already gone. So you can see that we destroyed that poor garden. And oh, Jesus. I don't know. They just rented it out. It was nice. So they got a new lawn and a few quid and the whole lot out. You know what I mean?
What else we got?
PJ, how long till you go off the sea thing and something else comes into favour?
Oh, the sea, because you're a sea man now.
Oh, the on the light thing?
Yeah.
I know.
No, he's really committed. Like,
this is Suzanne Kane calling me out on Mr. Fad.
You are the biggest fad ever. Trumpet. Gone.
Well, don't Kate Trump, right?
Go to the gym and like.
I still go to the gym every day.
Beating yourself up and all, not eating veg.
I still go to the gym every day.
Not a vegetarian anymore. Then you drew the line of pigs. Eat pigs now. So I can understand where they come from. But in fact, I was down in Clugga last weekend, and I sent PJ a message of Orna Light, and he was like, "Where the fuck is that?" And I was like, "Oh, it's down in Arklow."
I thought the boat went down without me.
He's like, "I thought they left without me." He got real panicked that like.
You know, I did my first rescue. Did I tell you?
No, so I actually have it in my phone
rescue
to ask you, are you like official seaman?
I went to my first rescue one, so not
this help or hindrance?
Probably a bit of both.
Okay.
I did my first rescue. That was fucking handy. Like it was a nice way
to
do
it. 2 lads on a sampan kind of thing.
No, it was a bunch. It was 6 people stranded on an island in their boat with the engine dead. So it was a pretty handy one. It was a pretty handy one. But they were hard in the rocks, so we had to get that into our little boat, go out and sort of get them and bring them out and then drag them back in and all. But it was fucking
No,
it was just good crack. It was just good crack. But it was funny going out there, and then somebody did go, "Are you that fucking Canadian?" And I was like, "Yeah." And they're like, "What are you doing on the boat?" Yeah. Yeah, so it was grand.
Look, these are my willies. They say my name.
Yeah, so
PJ.
But it was so it was deadly. Yeah, the first one done, first one down.
So you're officially like Orna Light.
Oh, and a lawyer now, yeah, proper volunteer now. So yeah, that's great. So
fucking please, God, never let me get stuck. Go on.
What's the chance of a UK gig, PJ?
Oh,
He's changing his tune now. He's changing his tune. 5 episodes, definitely never grow. And he was like, money.
No, but the thing is, I wouldn't probably make money there. I'd make here anyway, because you have to fucking go and stay there. And
yeah,
all
like
that.
as we learned this weekend.
Yeah.
It was negative.
Yeah, you fall into negative equity as soon as you start. I don't know, to be honest.
Okay.
I don't know.
I think though, because Chris Moyles was saying like he could go in his show, and they were like, just don't book it in the London Irish.
Oh look, we've stopped.
Oh no,
we stopped
recording. That's the way of telling us that we I wonder how long ago did we stop?
It just stopped.
Literally, that's it.
That's okay. Okay. So yeah, you're gonna go. He's gonna go and do that faux show.
If Chris Moyles lets me on the show to push it and all that,
of course he will.
Well, then
in fairness, I've never come across a man to be as sound. He's literally like plugged Dubland to death.
I know he has. In fairness, yeah.
And then in fairness, he stood for an hour and a half having pictures taken on Saturday after the gig, like signing stuff.
Cousins and all getting pictures with him. So
that's me. Go on, what else?
PJ is Ireland's Victor Meldrew. I was trying to think of a way. Somebody else said then. I was trying to think of a way to describe him. But that's
everybody
perfect.
chatting there? Like?
Yeah, there's.
I am a cranky old bollocks. That is true. Yeah, I know. I wish I wasn't, but I'm getting worse, which is the worst part. Yeah.
Somebody else has taken your side that PJ never told that story on the podcast.
Thank you.
And then somebody else, he definitely did tell that story before. No, oh yes, he did. That went on for a while. It was 1-1 at half time. Jays, you picked a bad night for this with the Champions League semi-final.
I know.
PJ, what made you want to be a comedian?
What did me? I can't do fucking anything else, and that's not even a joke. That's the truth. I literally shit at everything else. That's the truth.
I'd fight for that.
I left school when I was early at 16 because I fucking hated it, and I wasn't. I'm like dyscalculate, so I'm like dyslexic with numbers.
I'm dyslexic with numbers.
Oh, are you? Well, in 1985, they didn't know what that was. They just said you were a lazy cunt, right? So that was the basic way that went.
They probably had a little from column A and a little from column B there with you, though, did they?
Huh?
They probably had a little from both.
Well, no, I've never been lazy in my life. I've never been lazy, but they managed to convince me I was just and then I went fucking mental. So anyway, I left school because everyone was telling me I was lazy, and I was actually trying my whole off, and I was really good at everything except for the fucking maths bit. But anyway,
I hear you.
So then I was working in warehouses, and doing all sorts of shitty jobs and whatever else.
Career,
I was a courier. No, but I went into the warehouse. essentially. And then when I went into work in this warehouse, there was another fella working in it called Jason Byrne.
You may be familiar with him. He's
who's another stand-up comedian now, but wasn't at the time. And he wanted to do stand-up, but he was too shit to do it on his own. He was too nervous to turn up the clubs on his own, so he started writing sketches for the two of us.
Right, okay.
And then that was it. That was how it started. So we just ended up doing it. And I was lucky enough that at the time there was no stand-up comedy. Like there was 20 maybe stand-up comedians working in the country. Now there's like hundreds,
Everybody's a
thousands.
stand-up comedian.
Yeah, but
these
then
days,
there was none. So it just one thing led to another. That was it, to be honest.
You're
If
like,
I could do anything else, I'd probably do it. But
What
my
do you
hands
think
are
you would-
ornamental. I can't do fuck off.
what do you think you would have liked to be if you could have been anything? What would you be?
Motorbike racer, definitely,
Like a
100%.
fucking real job.
You said she says fucking anything, and then as soon as I say something, she takes it
No,
off
okay,
me.
fair enough. You can have
Literally
that.
anything. That's what I want. That's what I wanted to
Fair
be.
enough,
I ended
okay.
up doing
I think she
pretty
meant,
good in
like,
motorbike
plumber.
racing. There was a national race. I was actually
Weren't
pretty
you
good.
talking about loads of broken bones?
Yeah, I know, but I
That
still
can't be that
won
good.
races. I still got like good, well-placed championships. I just was never going to be good enough to be pro. But I was fucking
Is there
handy.
money in it?
No,
You'd have to be no.
no.
Okay.
Unless you're at the top end.
Why does PJ look like my driving instructor? They want you to do the halftime show at Crow Park at halftime.
Imagine.
Suzanne XX hashtag crush.
Oh, thanks.
Oh, there you go.
That's Joey again.
That's Johnny.
Twice already asked me how long I'm going to be. What time are we going to be home?
Yeah. He's trying to man and you come home. Now he's going on the compliments instead.
Loads of people saying great show in London. Some people couldn't miss it. They want more shows.
There will be.
Maybe you should set up a Patreon.
Yeah, I don't know how we feel about that.
I don't know. I feel a bit weird asking people. for
Yeah,
money,
I
to be
don't
honest with
think.
Let's talk about that after.
you.
Alan's like,
yeah.
Alan's like, actually, in 2 weeks' time, you'll be doing that.
Yeah.
I said that though about What's the Story podcast. I love What's the Story podcast, and I said I was like when we were talking
I'm on
about
that
it.
again.
Oh, I love the lads.
Yeah.
We should do that together, actually.
Yeah,
That would be
sure.
fun.
Yeah.
They're great, and I feel really bad because I went out to record with them, but just before Christmas. But it was when the lurgy had fully kicked in, and I had
you
I
want
had
bollocks,
proper flu. I couldn't fully hear my ears, so everything kind of was like. I was like, no, 4 o'clock, I can't make it. So I felt really bad. But we talked about their patronage, and I was like, no, they don't do it. And literally, we'd recorded, and by the time the podcast had gone out, they started to do it. Yeah, we always do that. We're like, what do we say? We're the Notre Dame, not the Nostradamus.
Yeah, the Nostradamus is the future telling guy. Yeah.
Yeah, what's so speak? But we kind of predict all these things.
Oh yeah, no, you're right. Yeah,
What's
the
the
Notre
Notre
Dame. Yeah, when we say
Dame?
something definitely won't happen,
Yeah,
it fucking
it'll
happens.
happen.
Yeah.
There's loads, so I'm going to start
Okay, go on,
cutting
sorry.
things out.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to ask this one, but somebody asked what's the latest with Page the Pigeon, and then somebody else said he died 2 days ago.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
you did not.
He did. The baby died. Yeah, the baby pigeon's dead.
Sorry.
The baby pigeon died. Yeah.
Oh, I'm not able for things like that. Like, okay, let's move on.
Yeah.
No, seriously.
Yeah, he died. Yeah, she put up a picture of him in his last days.
Oh no, actually, let's not, because I will cry.
But she didn't put up a picture
I
of him dead or anything.
I don't like animals,
Well, yeah,
but
but
like
she
I
put up-
really liked that.
Yeah,
little
and
pigeon.
it was when I was coming back from Notre Dame again. We were talking about it in the fucking podcast. I came back from London. The very first thing I seen on Instagram,
We talked about it on the
yeah,
podcast. We'll
was
have to cut
the
that
baby
out.
pigeon was dead. The fucking poor baby pigeon is dead.
What
We should.
happened?
This episode is dedicated to Pigeon's baby,
Yeah, it
who
has a
didn't make
name.
it. This is dedicated to that baby. We have to get a name for it.
It has a name, I think. Go on. What else?
Are
I
you
wish you hadn't
watching?
brought that up, but thanks for upsetting me. All I appreciate it.
Are you watching Westworld, or do you know any other good TV shows? Also, we've been going an hour and 17 minutes. So what time do you want me to?
Oh yeah,
stop
we
at?
better fucking get the move. I have to go to bed.
Yeah.
I literally have to go to bed.
Okay,
We
we'll
better-
do 10 more minutes or 5 more minutes.
Like 5 minutes.
5 more
yeah.
Okay. Do you want to go through TV shows, or will I move on?
No, move on, because if we
Yeah.
start him on TV shows. Pip. It was called Pip.
Pip.
Yeah. the
Yeah,
pigeon was
Pip
called
is dead. Pip is dead. Yeah, this is for Pip. Everybody for Pip.
Oh, I can't
PJ,
do
it's
that.
2-2 so 4-2 on aggregate.
I just saw that there. Yeah. So I'm not sure which way that means. What that was aggregate wise
I
then.
thought you were into football. I thought you understood it.
Yeah, I know, but I can't remember what way it was before. And so I'm not. I think that means it's good for Bayern at the moment.
No, it's 4-2 to Real.
Alan's
Huh?
checking on his phone. 4-2 to
Don't be
Real.
forgetting good old Ireland when arranging the live shows.
Obviously, Al's sorting that thing out.
They're giving out about the goalkeeper for Bayern.
Oh, for goodness sake.
Yeah. Also,
PJ will
aggregate
not.
scores 4-3 then. No.
I don't know.
Oh, sorry, go on.
I'm
Uh,
still upset about
PJ
the
will
fucking
not
pigeon.
let being wrong get in the way of a good story. So he would not stand for the fact that Suzanne and Joey are in no way connected to Dubland.
True. Never let the truth get in the way with the story.
Yeah,
I've
they're
accused
definitely
PJ of,
something to do with each other back in the past. Definitely.
I've accused PJ of many things, so I'll let that
The
slide.
Donnellys are a splinter group of the Donnellands because they weren't racist enough for them. That's my story, and I'm sticking to
If you
it.
ever saw our real,
How are the cigars and whiskey working for you?
Yeah, good. Yeah, I'm gonna have a cigar again now soon. I got a lovely bottle of whiskey off Jim there for my birthday last week. Yeah.
I got a bottle of whiskey and Jude's as well, actually.
Yeah. No, yeah, loving it. Yeah, I love it. I feel like a proper little distinguished little shit when I have a whiskey and a cigar. They're such a brilliant mix. It's like fish and chips. It's
Not
the fish
really.
and chips of the gentleman. Is what it is.
Fish
Whiskey
and
and a cigar. I'm telling you.
There's a question for me.
Oh, Al, yeah.
How's all in Newbridge? I have no idea.
He doesn't go back. He's forgotten about his Newbridge
He's
route.
left his Newbridge route.
Will there be more of these podcasts on YouTube?
I asked Alan.
Well, are you enjoying it? Do you want to do more of it?
I'll do more of this.
Yeah,
Yeah, this is the same. Yeah, why not?
Okay, that one's too long, so I can't get to it. Hopefully they'll do more live podcasts.
We will.
I've enjoyed the novelty, but for the podcast in my ears when I need that
Well, you
release
can
from
listen to it
reality.
tomorrow.
Yep.
In your ears.
More
It'll be
people
down
asking for
tomorrow.
badges. What's the site for podcast mugs again?
Oh,
Oh,
We'll do what we'll type that out later.
it's
Um,
not really a site.
when is Suzanne
Mugs and
filling
gifts.
in for Chris on Radio X?
Not, unfortunately.
She won't do it. She won't go over. She's just all
I'm not filling in for
listen to the live one. You'll hear the whole
Somebody
story
in the
on
middle
that.
of the live podcast shouted up and was like, "Why did you take the job
Yeah,
then?"
you're gonna
And
hear
broke
you'll
my
hear that
heart.
whole
Leave that
story in the
in.
next
But
episode.
no, I'm not filling in for him because
Yeah.
I think that's Toby's gig.
Yeah, there's a whole story behind
But if
that.
anybody in Ireland wants to give me a week, I'm available.
I've said it before and I'll say it again. Following Suzanne's football banter, Joey Donnelly is a very lucky man.
Oh yeah,
West Cork is amazing. The name of that documentary is The Rachel Divide.
the Rachel
The
Divide.
Rachel Divide, that's the one. Yeah, not dividing Rachel. What the fuck am I on?
Well, yeah.
More UK podcasts this year.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I
3
think
minutes.
great to see you guys. Give Susie something to say on TV3.
Oh, on Saturday,
Yeah.
I'm doing a baby feature on Saturday. Probably wouldn't imagine. Stick it up your hole. And if you pat baby this way, they'll be we'll figure it out. I'll say something. I'll mention that as I always do on News Talk. I always give you the
Yeah, you
on
do. In
News Talk.
fairness, yeah, I've heard your news talk loads. Yeah.
You usually take the piss out of what I say. Yep.
Okay. I think it's time to start
Super.
your sign off.
Right, okay.
Right,
So
let's
that's
do it, let's go.
episode
100,
100.
which is technically 101, but don't mind that. It's episode 100.
So this is, if you're watching, it's available to download tomorrow, Wednesday, the 2nd. But if you're just listening, thanks for listening. Don't forget, you can, as always, follow us on Instagram. PJ's Instagram is @PJ Gallagher. The Dubland Instagram is fuck all use for following it because PJ does nothing with it.
Oh,
But it's at Dubland Podcast.
Jesus, right.
Mine is Suzanne.fm on Insta, Suzanne Kane FM on Twitter, and @Dubland podcast is Twitter. And that is very well managed because
she does
I manage it. Head Stuff Network, by the way, is where we record, and they do they do loads.
They
and
do loads of
and
fucking
and
deadly
of-
podcasts, including Jill Wickramasinghe, who's in your music now. Oh, Wickramasinghe. How did she say?
Potteroony.
Vikramasinga.
Wickramasinghe, who's fucking deadly. So check her out. She's new, isn't she? On the
Oh,
Head
she's
Stuff
there
Network.
with 6
she-
months,
Ish.
is she?
Yeah, she's there a
She
few months
left
now.
News
Yeah.
Talk
Oh
this
yeah,
year.
yeah. See, I'm old.
Um,
Fucking months is like an hour. for me.
Potteroony's
Doesn't mean
good.
shit.
I like that one.
Potteroony's deadly. You're just looking at them all.
Joe Rooney's one of my favorite comedians. Maybe it's just because I still think about him in Father Ted
Ah,
though
he's
a little
brilliant,
bit,
yeah.
and he gets it all the time. It's a bit like the Jake effect.
And Garrod! Fucking
Garrod.
Garrod!
Oh, we love Garrod Farley.
New
Garrod's
season
one of my
starting
favourite people.
tomorrow.
Huh?
New season starting
Oh, new
tomorrow.
Oh, his new one starts tomorrow. Fascinating, the podcast of Garrod Farley. He's one of my favourite people in the fucking world,
He's
that
the
man.
gay man I had to apologise to.
Why?
Do you remember that I showed him I was on? He was on a lane with me, sitting beside me, talked about being gay, and I went, I never knew you were gay. You don't look gay. Who says you don't look
You're
gay
out
to
of your
someone
mind.
like? I'm so sorry.
But if you want to find out about where some of the oddest and most sort of people you totally forgot of from the 80s and shit, they're all in his podcast. It's fucking dead.
It's really good. Right, so that is episode 100.
Yes, so see you later. Enjoy it. Have a good time and all. I'm going
Thanks
to
for
bed. It's
watching.
fucking middle of the night.
Joey, I'll be home soon. Stick the kettle on.
Right.
I want to keep.
Woo! The longest one we've ever done.
Well, no.